Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be solving one of the most interesting questions I've ever solved in this channel. And we have x squared plus 5x plus 5 to the power of x squared minus 10x plus 21 is equal to 1. And we need to figure out the value of the x. So before we start, let's see what are the conditions and what are different scenarios that we get 1 in here. So the first scenario that we have is that we know that if we have a to the power of 0, regardless of the a, we're going to get 1. If we follow this condition, that means our x squared minus 10x plus 21 is equal to 0. And let's see if we get any roots in here. So looking at this, we see that we have the two numbers that multiply 21 and add minus 10, and those two numbers can be minus 3 and minus 7. So we can write our equation x minus 3 times x minus 7 is equal to 0. So our x will be 3, one x will be 3 and the other x will be 7, and that would be one condition. The second condition that we can have is that, so let's call this one 1. The second condition is that we also know when we have 1 to the power of a, this will be 1 too. So that means our base in here, which was x squared plus 5x plus 5 is equal to 1. So if we subtract 1 on each side, we will have x squared plus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. Again, we have those two numbers that multiply 4 and adds 5. So those two numbers that multiply 4 is 4 and 1. So x plus 1 times x plus 4 is equal to 0. So the third answer will be minus 1. So this will be equal to 0. Or this one, when we have ab is equal to 0, that means a is 0 and b 0. So x plus 4 equals to 0. That means our fourth answer can be minus 4. So that's the two conditions that we have that we can get the number 1 that we have in here. But this is not over. There is one more situation that we can get 1, and that would be when we have, maybe you guys can pause the video and think about it. What would be the third scenario that we can get 1 in here? So let's just go for a few minutes and come back to see if you guys can figure this out. Okay, I'm sure you guys already found the third scenario that we will have 1, and the third scenario that we have in here when we have a base of minus 1 to the power of an even number. So that's gonna give us 1, 2. So obviously we have two conditions in here. We have to have the base is equal to minus 5. So let's do that first. X squared plus 5x plus 5 is equal to minus 1. So that means x squared plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So again, we have two numbers that multiply 6 and add 5. Those two numbers are 3 and 2. So we can write this down. X plus 3 times x plus 2 equals 0. Again, this means each of these can be 0, 2. So x equal to, so we have x minus 3, and the 6x that we have is minus 2. So far we have 4 answers, but that doesn't mean that all of these are acceptable. So what we need to figure out in here, so in the last condition, as I mentioned, we have two conditions, and once we get minus 5, we have to make sure that the exponent is an even number. So let's see what we get for, so first of all, we know that exponent was x squared minus 10x plus 21. So if we put our x as minus 3, we'll have minus 3 squared minus 10 times minus 3 plus 21. So it's basically 9 plus 30 plus 21, which will be 60. Even number, this one's good. Let's try minus 2. Minus 2 squared minus 10 times minus 2 plus 21. So this will be 4 plus 20 plus 21, and this will be equal to 45. We have an odd number. That means this answer is not acceptable. So the other thing that we need to consider in here, there are many layers in this question, and the other thing is that we have to avoid the answers that can make us 0 to the power of 0. So that wouldn't be acceptable for us too. So in here, we know 3 and 7 is going to give us the exponent of 0, but we have to make sure that doesn't make 0 on the base. So if we put out 3, we'll have 3 plus 15 plus 5. So this is definitely a positive number. And same for 7, because all of our answers are positive. We won't get 0. So these two are good too. And we have to make sure these two answers don't make our exponent 0. So if we put minus 1 in the exponent in here, so we will have minus 1 squared, which will be positive, minus 10 minus 1 will be positive. Again, definitely a positive number for minus 1, and same for minus 4. We'll have 16 plus 40 plus 21, definitely more than 0, and that means at the end we'll end up with 5 different answers for this question. Hope you guys find this question helpful. As I said, there are multiple layers into this one, and definitely a good question and good practice to see different possibilities that we can get that 1 in this equation. And yeah, that would be all. Please let me know if you have any other solution to this question, or if you have any questions. Feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer those questions and discuss your solution with you guys. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.